Great. Okay, I have to put on my glasses as the questions are coming in. How I did get interested in rugby league? It's a bit strange, as I'm a coach of rugby first of all. I've been coaching rugby since 1996, and I was behind the foundation of the National Rugby 15 Federation, and I was nominated General Secretary until we get the recognition of the Confederation of African Rugby. Then I moved out and I started my own teams, and as we were working, I found it that most of my knowledge and my capacities was to plan and coordinate and prepare for a better future for our youth. And I decided to stay in the same game but with a different code. And the different code, we used to train our players with movement of rugby league. And those movement of rugby league, I decided to show them to the youth. Our youth decided that we better play rugby league than staying in rugby 15, rugby union. By becoming a rugby league association first, we created 2-3 teams. We played few games, and we had to create a legal frame for the players, and we came to apply for the usual thing that every organization need to have. We encountered certain problems which were not very serious at the beginning, but as we're growing, we have a better coordination, and that better coordination brings jealousy. And jealousy, we all know that it stops and frame development of a game. This is the situation we're in, because we are in a poor country, people are poor, people cannot afford for the moment to invest in social activities that require a certain amount of money, and we have to wait until we get some funds from our continental and regional organization to get few balls, few tackling bags, and other equipment that might need it. We were thinking about international NGOs could support us, but their communication means or promotional means were not including jerseys or any other things. But for the visibility for next year, we suppose that if the situation continues as it is, they're going to need people that can get in certain places and promote their programs. How did rugby league start in Burundi? You heard my story. It's because so many people has been trained and few had the chance to participate into leagues, into school championships, and the national teams has been lasting for more than 6-7 years without changing the players, and some of the players got fed up, and they registered and had reached well over 15,000 people trained in rugby, but without any opportunity of representing the country, the area, the province, and that has pushed me to decide to start it. It started with 2015. No other moment rugby league has been played in Burundi. Only when I decided to put it ahead and decide that we're going to run games of rugby league. That was your second question. How did it fit in with the local culture? Local culture. We are a warrior country. A warrior country, it's a country where people has learned how to fight. And when people has in their culture fighting, it's very easy to have rugby, either union or rugby league. Rugby league is even giving us a better feeling of being with our ancestors, because there is running, the secret of running. That's where people ask themselves, what these people are doing, it's a bit strange. But we have managed to educate them and show them that it's possible. By showing them that it's possible, they accept it. Where they accept it, that's where some of our great kings has been buried. There are people don't know exactly our history. We know history. As we know history, we know what we have to say. We know how we're going to push the game of passing behind and going forward. The meaning of that, we transform it using our own language, and people accept it. But there are some other people who comes with a culture of hating rugby union or rugby league, whatever they think, but they only think soccer. When somebody is tucked into soccer, it's very hard to teach them rugby. If they come into rugby, it's because they want to make mistakes. And those mistakes, they do them in soccer. Okay. It's a sort of an awareness that they are looking after our game. By coming into our game, they become strong boys. They are not scared anymore of any contact. So they go for the contact. And the soccer coaches accept it. And they go for it. Now that we seeing, we have a social media, we have all the most beautiful stuff that rugby is bringing. Some people will say, what happened to your tooth? Nah, this is rugby. It's nothing else. It's not boxing. It's not kung fu. I did all this. But it's only in rugby that it was really tough and hard. And our culture does accept that. The challenge that we're facing, it's nearly the challenge that all amateur sports are facing. It's question of logistics. And the questions of logistics, people has to find a way how to fit in. When I say how to fit in, is that when you have a game of rugby league, we are not the first one to play it. We started playing when the game had 120 years. Okay? We are the gift to rugby league. Burundi is a gift to rugby league. So the year Rugby League got 120 years, Burundi Rugby League got created. We got created, and you can even look at the game. Since 1 year ago, the game is changing. There's no more contact, there's more running, speed, tactics. Yeah? I'm not here to say that the game we can control. No, we have our way of coaching. I've been coaching the Leopards rugby, Puma rugby, Buffaloes, Hyenas, Tornadoes. All those rugby union teams play the same game as the game. I see it changing since the last time I watched it. I started getting more interested into rugby league around 2010. 2010, we had Canal Horizon who was working properly. We used to see lots of French rugby à 13 games, and it was very wonderful. But nobody wanted really to be in control of rugby 13, rugby league, till I decided to put in some legal frame for the game. And the challenge is, frankly, it's logistics. We have no balls. Parents don't have the money to share a small ball of 60,000. I know where the stock are. When I call them for anything to do, the only question is that if we manage to feed the kids, it could be a great thing. But the kids love the game. If I'm lucky, if I have something, I give them, then we see them few 2, 3, 4 weeks, then they stop a week, because people get tired. Because nevertheless, the game it's on a small scale, but the training is the same as the professional. You cannot coach saying that I'm going to reduce the intensity of the game. No, the game, you give it the game the way it is. Because tomorrow morning it's going to come, hey coach, I've seen this on TV. Are you able to teach me or to explain me how do they do that? So I have to prepare the boy to show him that we're doing better than the professionals. Till he decides himself, okay, I'm going to do the same thing. And if I survive all these years without breaking my neck, breaking my leg, it's because I knew when to go basic and where to go tough, where to hit. And if I lose something, I know that I have to shut up and keep going. Okay? But if, Steward, you ever find a possibility of somebody that can help us get the balls, get the jerseys. Today's Chinese has some good jerseys that I'm seeing that everybody's using them. It's not branded, but it can carry a message. Can carry a message of a company or whatsoever. We know people need those opportunities that can come from either Nigeria. Nigerians are around here, but there are communities that can sponsor a small country like ours. We are around 800 and something. With my actual calculations, that's the way. That's the figure I have. It's 800 and something, or around 900. But I will have the figures on 10th or the 12th of April of this year. Then I will get all the registration from Kayanza and other places. Some other province didn't join us for a simple reason that there was a problem of logistics. And then the logistics, I'm trying to sort it out. Now that we have created a sort of organogram that shows that we are the NGO, the cooperative, and the other thing that we can develop that has been put in the strategic plan that we have sent to the Rugby League European Federation, that we have given what we have promised to do. And we even gave them more that can be redeemed even in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Sierra Leone, in any other places. And if we keep our community of Rugby League, Rugby 13, this thing can be big. Can be big as our ancestors dreamed. They dreamed about Pan-Africa. Why not Rugby League show them how it should have been done? On the same track. Fast train doesn't allow to go around or bend. On some way, if you take a corner, you have to have enough space to take the corner. And in Africa, there is enough space for Rugby League. My objective is to bring in Congo, to bring in Angola, to bring in Mozambique, where the rugby union is not yet there. But we need logistics to do that and to find a project that will get us there without disturbing any other thing that we are doing. I know, personally, theoretically, I might have a job, but I don't have any. I don't get a salary. I'm waiting for the rewards for the work I'm doing and what I have to prove that Rugby League can do in Africa, in the world. The objective of the Global Strategic Plan of the Rugby League International Federation can be achieved if we follow the way we have to do things. Yes, we are into a game, but that game possesses one of the best assets is the human beings. And those human beings, some of them don't have jobs. And if we create the jobs, if we give them health, if we give them whatever they want, we will get all the resources that the world needs. Look around. If we're missing those things, the challenges that I get is to get the funds. And if the funds, I need them, I will need those people that we have in our organization. Today you're going into Nigeria, you're a journalist, and a journalist will meet so many people. We need people who are expert in human rights. We need people who has information about illegal migration. We need people that has a knowledge of nutrition. They don't have to be doctors. I always tell people, those who treat people better are the ones who has to take care. To pay attention that they are not going to be accused of killing somebody with what they give to the people. That's one thing that people don't understand about nutrition and all other things that I have, and I propose to bring the game upwards by being the visibility of what we're going to do and report to the people who brings funds. What can expect in the future? In the future, we have to expect so many games with in East Africa. We have these Somalis who has a possibility of having games. There are people who need what I just mentioned. And I believe that if they come in, there will be more games in Africa. We have seen games between Kenya and Italy. Imagine Italy didn't manage to beat the teachers. Imagine if the professional athlete comes in. Kenya had a chance to become one of the most powerful players of rugby league, but they have delays because rugby union is an institution. It's an institution who has 100 years in that country. But from my side, with the means that I could find into those huge projects that I've put forward, maybe you have heard about, I'm sure, even Kenya, I'm not scared of the Kenyans. I have the tactics and the knowledge and the strategy. I'm the mean man, as they say. If you had the power, what would you change to help rugby? What kind of power? People use the word power with rugby. There is so many powers. Okay, legal frame. I won't run trying to bring the not-for-profit document, because the not-for-profit document, what does it change? A cooperative and a non-profit organization has the same values in the eyes of the officials, but different ministries are administrating whatever legal frame you have. For example, not-for-profit, we deal with the Ministry of Sports, Youth and Culture. If I have the cooperative, I work with the Ministry of Development, the Ministry of Planning, the Ministry of Finance, even the second Vice President office. They have 4. Then 1. We mean business, says the boss. If we mean business, we have to keep both. The 2 legal frames are very, very, very important. Because tomorrow morning, if you get something from Bill Gates, or you get something from Ford, you get something from Grameen, trust me, you better have access to all those ministries. And the Ministry of Sports is limited, but he has the power of the youth in the street schools, and all other places. This is one of the things that people have to understand why I did so. And it was already in a strategic plan. But they wanted to press us to see if we can deal with the game into administration, into security, into all the things that we think that they can block us, frame us, and whatsoever. But when they realized that we can do it all, they gave us some time. And that time, it's now. Everything has been introduced. Some department of ministries didn't do anything to protect the people. We are next to the people. We live in an environment of the people. And we don't fear people. And we don't fear the government. If you fear the government, if you fear your father, your mother, how are you going to stay in their own house? It's impossible. No Ruge can get fear, any fear against those kind of people. No. You can understand, Stuart, that it's very important that we produce projects that can be redeemed in all those countries. The secret is there. We have seen it, and some people really don't know how to move around the organization. We know. We are Burundians. We know how it works. If we manage it here, tomorrow morning it's going to be possible. But I know some people like to block. I can even put names. People from Cameroon will block. They have 3-4 champions who are into rugby union, and they behave the way some of our people does behave. Either Betsen, either Tabak, all of them, they did something to block rugby league. But today it's not possible. We are already there. If we are there, our future is going to be okay. And if I have the power, is to bring me more funds into association, into federation, into the continental department, and make possibilities that players move around. British goes to New Zealand, to Australia, Africans goes to Europe, to France, to England. You can understand the move I just told you. If the South African can play in New Zealand or in Europe, he's going to get a better salary. And the British will have to find a way of following other players who goes to Australia. Australia pays better than any other place for rugby league players. Okay? This is the way things works. Do you have any closing comment on your biggest help? Oh, Stuart, as you told me that you'll be moving around West Africa, I will be pleased to work with some university that has some subject that are interesting the world for the moment, because I cannot do this work alone, because the work I'm doing, I use the name Rugby, Burundi Rugby League, Rugby à 13 Cooperative. It means that all African university and European university are invited to come and work with us as we trying to find funds for our people. And they should not get scared of our government. It's a government of people that can understand things, but they are pushed by something that we don't know exactly what it is. But inshallah, tomorrow or after tomorrow it's going to end. The opposition has their way of doing, and let's hope that the Rugby League European Federation is going to conclude and send us that beautiful certificate that says us that we are under observation, observer status, which I think it's a good thing, but it's something that somebody has to have means to do something. As I said it before, if an organization has the logistics, has the means to use for the training and for the games. It can help. It's going to help and make sure that 2017 is going to be one of the most beautiful World Cup. We have other powers that cannot be mentioned on a line like this one, that everybody will be so happy to see that things can change. Change doesn't only come from big bucks. No. Small country can also, or they have the power to change things by telling people, look how we are, we survived, and we're going to change things. Because our players come from where they are really serious problem. To sleep at night is first of all pray to see the next day. It's Musaga, Kanyosha, Ruziba, and others are at the border, Kayanza, and others are in the middle, Muramvya. Gitega, we're having a problem of convincing them to come, but they play rugby league, but they don't want to join us. So this is a problem that all organizations have in the world. Even the United States has had that problem at one moment. But now that one has been accepted by the department, and expecting that the board is going to confirm what the department has said. And I say thank you to Mr. Raymond Safi for supporting us morally, even he doesn't want to send me few balls. He fears some DHL fans, I don't know. But, and I really say thank you, Stuart Morris, for asking me those questions. I'm going to make sure that you get this document in a few minutes. I think I still have some units in my modem, and hope you have a nice trip to Nigeria, and Nigerians are going to hear this. And remember, you are not alone, we are not alone. And together we can achieve things that nobody will ever, ever forget. And our people need us for more than just the game. It's not anymore the game, it's interest for everyone. Create job, create interest, and especially national interest, because we are teams and we have the ground. And if we have the ground, we can show that we are the best. Thank you, Stuart. I hope to meet you one day, one of those games, because we are not so much. And with what I've been learning, I think even to get into Nigeria or bringing you in Burundi, it's not going to be so complicated, but we have to get ready at all moment. And I hope one of us has applied for the next 5 years to get some funds from the European community, the British, or whatsoever, the United States every day, that we can fund funds. Thank you very much. I'm Jean de Christ Roussiga, President of Burundi Rugby League, Rugby à 13, either the Burundi Rugby League, Rugby à 13 Cooperative, and Ruge Sports and Culture in Bujumbura, and communicating with Stuart Morris from the UK.